play and one WNBA play here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, June 13th. Before I get started, link is in the description below. 100% deposit match on PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF. Discord link in the description. Main server completely free. We also have that Patreon link in there as well, where I do post all the plays here that I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. Again, I'm not a gambling expert, and this is not financial advice. Simply displays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully, giving you guys some insight analysis to then make your own player prop decisions here. But let's get into it, you guys. Tuesday, June 13th, I got one MLB play, one WNBA play. Kind of thinking about doing this kind of concept, throughout the summer. As obviously there's no NBA, there's no NFL. So, I mean, WNBA is not every day, but baseball is every day. And if there is MLB and WNBA, I'm probably just going to do one play from each sport, as I think it's kind of split on the interest from the audience here on this channel, what you guys like to play. So I like a WNBA play today and an MLB play. Again, not a gambling expert, not financial advice. No one's pressing submit on those parlays other than yourselves. But let's get right into it. So the first play is going to be an MLB live play here, and we're going to go with Spencer Strider over 3.5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Now, this is a little risky, right? Obviously, 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings, it is tough. But I think if any pitcher has the ability to do this, it is Spencer Strider. We take a look at just some other pitchers here. Like Corbin Burns is at 2.5 for the first 1-2 innings. Jamison Taylon is at 2. Jack Flaherty is at 2. It's not like it's crazy asking for, a pitcher like Spencer Strider to get 4Ks right in the first 2 innings. But let's take a look at why I like this. So taking a quick look at this matchup, this is probably the best matchup Spencer Strider's had all season. Detroit, not a very good offense, right? A lot of swing and miss in that lineup. Atlanta is minus 265, right, on the money line. Over under is at 8 runs here. And we take a look at Spencer Strider, right? This is on Outlier. Again, there's a link at the top of this description to get a 7-day free trial with Outlier. Again, in my opinion, the best research tool. But over his last 20 games, you can see the hit rate for to go over 8.5 strikeouts. He's minus 161 to go over 8.5. I think he's at 9 for his full game, right? On most books, yeah, he's 9 on PrizePicks. But that's why I'm taking. I like MLB Live here, because we've seen Spencer Strider throughout the season really get off to really strong starts and kind of fade towards the end of games as it gets to like 90 plus pitches. So if he is at like 7-8 strikeouts, heading into the 6th or 7th inning, I think could be some risk for the full game 9, in my opinion. That's why I'm taking the MLB Live first 2 innings here. But you can see the hit rate, right? Spencer Strider, probably the nastiest stuff in baseball as far as swing and miss and ability to strike guys out. He is absolutely considered a power pitcher, in my opinion. But let's get into why I like this. So we'll take a look here at the Detroit Tigers' potential lineup tonight, and they haven't really faced Strider, right? We got one guy, Verling, has faced him 4 times. Nick Matten has faced him twice. And Verling has, in 4 plate appearances, has struck out 3 times, and Maton has faced him twice and struck out once. And then the rest of these guys haven't faced him, so which I think that benefits us. The more teams see a pitcher and see the pitches and see the delivery, they get a little more used to it and are able to put the ball in play a little bit more as opposed to striking out. But for a pitcher like Spencer Strider, who absolutely has swing and miss stuff, it really, really benefits us here tonight. Facing pretty much an entire lineup that has never faced him or seen any of his pitches before. Right, let's take a look here at Spencer Strider on Baseball Savant. Right, this is just his last couple games. So we take a look at, how he's able to, if he's hit this in games so far this season. So we take a look at this most recent start, June 8th versus the New York Mets, which again was one of his worst starts of the season, in my opinion. But he still was able to punch guys out. I think, let's see, what in that game against the Mets, he still finished with 8 strikeouts, right? But he did struggle. I think he gave up a good amount of earned runs in that game. Let's take a look at this. So Brandon Nimmo comes up, he fields, grounds out. And then we see he strikes out Alvarez and McNeil, right? This is, again, no Pete Alonso in this lineup as well for the Mets. But so he has 2 strikeouts, and then 3. So, right, 1, 2, 3, 2 strikeouts after the first inning, and then 3 and 4, right? So he hit this against the Mets. We come down here against the Diamondbacks here. Pavin Smith fields out, walk, 1, 2, and then so that's 3, 4. So he gets 3 here against the Diamondbacks, 3 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. Against the Phillies here, was tough for him. Just 5 straight field outs, which was tough. So Did not get this against the Phillies. We look at the Dodgers. He got the over on this, I'm pretty sure. So double, a field out, a single. Then he gets 2 strikeouts to end the inning. And then a home run to open the second inning. And then 2 more strikeouts here. So he hit this against the Dodgers pretty easily. Against the Rangers here, who obviously have a pretty potent lineup. So he gets, three field outs to start the game. And then he strikes out 3 in the second inning. So came super close there. Again, I'm just going to go through a few of these. Against the Blue Jays here, he strikes out the first 4 batters. He strikes out Springer, Bichette, Guerrero, and Varjo. He just literally gets it through the first four batters. He gets the over on this. Against the Orioles here, he gets Mullins, he gets Mountcastle, and he gets Frazier, so he gets 3. Like, he literally hasn't had less than 3 strikeouts through the first 2 innings, like, all season. Like, he's literally hit this, or at least had 3 in pretty much every game, I'd say, in most of his starts, the majority of his starts. This game here against the Mets, again, another tough matchup for him. Triple walk, single, strikeout. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get this against the Mets back here on May 1st. Again, I'm just going to go through a few of these. You guys can obviously skip past this. Against the Miami Marlins, right? Strikeout, and then 3 field outs. So he misses this here against the Miami Marlins, finishes with 3. Padres here, strikeout, field out, walk, strikeout 2, walk, strikeout, hits this over against the Padres. Against the Reds here, single, field out, 2 outs, 1, and then strikes out 3 straight in the second inning, so hits the over against the Reds. Against the Padres here, strikeout. So it's 3 outs, and then 1, 2, hits this again against the Padres. I'm just going to go through all these right here. And then, again, first game of the season, strikeout, field out, strikeout. Look at these first 6 batters you face, he gets 5 Ks. So, obviously, Spencer Strider has the ability to hit the over on this pretty easily. And then I just wanted to quickly share this as well. Detroit Tigers, you can see the K rate. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in this lineup with strikeout percentage over 20% against right-handers. We look at right-handing starting pitchers versus the Tigers this season. So we look at Charlie Morton. I just want to look at a few of these. So Charlie Morton, and then we saw had 8 strikeouts just last night against the Tigers on the road. And then we saw Wheeler, Taijuan Walker, Aaron Nola, and Kopech all hit the over on this. Or not hit the over, but we'll take a look at it. 9, 12, 8, and 8. Wheeler, Walker, Nola, Kopech all had 9, 12, 8, and 8 strikeouts against the Tigers. So let's take a look at those guys. So Wheeler, we can see here, versus the Tigers, he gets McKinstry to field out, and then he gets Baez, Torkelson, Matone, and Haas all to strike out. So Wheeler hits the over on this. We look at Taijuan Walker. He hits the over on this. He gets the first 3 guys to strike out, and then he gets Zach Shore to strike out, so he hit the over. We look at Aaron Nola here, who he had 12 strikeouts against the Tigers. He gets McKinstry to field out, and then he strikes out 5 straight batters here in that Tigers lineup, and then Kopech here as well. He gets McKinstry to field out, and then he gets Baez, Akil Baddoo, and Torkelson all to strike out, so he finishes with 3. And then Dylan Cease, who had 6 strikeouts against the Tigers, he got McKinstry to strike out, field out, and then he finishes with 3 strikeouts too. So, I mean, Tigers, Spencer Strider, best strikeout pitcher in baseball. I like the over. I just gave you guys a bunch of research behind it. I like the over here on Strider, 3.5 Ks in the first 2 innings. And then the second play is going to be a WNBA prop. Obviously, we're like a fantasy score here, and it's an absolute wagon. It's Esdi Megbegor. You can see here over the last 5, she's hit this 4 of the last 5. 1 miss coming against the Sparks when he finished with 29.8. 29.8. PrizePicks finally, starting to realize the player that she is. I've been on this player. I've been on Ezzy all season long. Go back and check the videos, you guys. She's been an absolute wagon for us here. But I got to play her again tonight in what should be somewhat of a close game. We look at this matchup here. 7-point spread for Phoenix, over/under at 161. But I think Ezzy, she's been playing 35-plus minutes. Like, she's literally, the minutes have been there for her all season. 29 against the Aces, but then 35, 38, 33, 32, 37, and 38 over these last 2 games. Kind of a rivalry game here against Phoenix, conference matchup. But, yeah, let's get into why I like this. So, just similarly, obviously, Brittany Griner is that big for the Phoenix Mercury, so Ezzy's going to have to be on the floor to pretty much match all of her minutes. And, we know Griner is going to play 30-plus minutes in this matchup. But we just take a look at some other bigs, right? It's not like Griner is able to shut players down. And then with so much offense coming into the paint, with how the Mercury play with Brittany Griner, it should hope and give Megbegor some opportunities to get blocks. But we saw Nalissa Smith finish with 29, 12, and 4 assists against the Phoenix Mercury. We saw Natasha Howard and Satu Sabali. So Natasha Howard had 22, 7, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 4 blocks. And Satu Sabali had 17 and 16 and 2 assists. So it's not like Griner is just able to shut these bigs down. We saw Satu Sabali again have 24, 10, 1 and 1. We saw Nyeka obviously a wagon for his 21, 12, 6 and 1 steal. We saw Elizabeth Williams 10, 8, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Nothing crazy here, but Kalia Copper did go off pretty much, or I guess Chicago Sky had a pretty even game as far as disparity between all the players. And then also we saw Nyeka again in the first game of the season, 17, 4, 3, and 3, along with her sister, 15, 7, 1, and 1. But the way, and the player as he is, I mean, she just coming off a game where she had 7 stocks against the Washington Mystics. She's literally had 3 stocks in every game this season. 4 against Las Vegas, 3 against Dallas, 5 against New York, 3 against LA, 5 against LA, 3 against Washington, and 7 stocks against Washington here in their most recent game on Sunday. So I like Ezzy here tonight. Minutes have been there. Her per 36 minutes averages is insane. Here are the 2 plays here for this YouTube video. I know this video is kind of dragged out, but I did want to give ample research kind of on the Strider play and why I'm playing it. Again, Strider over 3.5 strikeouts the first 2 innings. Ezzy Megbayer over 33.5 fantasy. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 2 plays. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.